America is developing a pair of two new high-tech fighter aircraft, and you probably haven't heard much about them. Under the leadership of Defense Secretary Jim Mattis, the Pentagon has clamped down on talking about cutting-edge capabilities in development, citing concerns about giving potential foes too much information. Nevertheless, some details have emerged about the ongoing programs, one each from the U.S. Air Force and the U.S. Navy. And in light of European plans for new fighter designs, it is worth revisiting what is, and isn't, known about the American efforts. In 2016, the U.S. Air Force unveiled its Air Superiority 2030 study, which posited that although the service would need a new air superiority fighter jet, called penetrating counter-air, as soon as the 2030s, it would be just as important that the new plane fit into a family of systems of space, cyber, electronic warfare and other enabling technologies. The service then initiated an analysis of alternatives in 2017 to further drill down on penetrating counter-air concepts and to refine its requirements, but the service's top uniformed officer sounds interested in a disaggregated mission approach. When you look at through the lens of the network and you look at air superiority as a mission, as a family of systems approach, you can see why you don't hear me talking a lot about the replacement, A for B, Air Force Chief of Staff General Dave Goldfein told Defense News in March. Because the replacement may not be a single platform, it may be 2 or 3 different kinds of capabilities and systems. And so as we look at air superiority in the future, ensuring that we're advancing to stay ahead of the adversary, we're looking at all those options. Mark Tapper, the Air Force's special advisor to the Deputy Chief of Staff for Intelligence, Surveillance and Reconnaissance, echoed Goldfein's comments during a June 26 panel. It's not necessarily about a new airplane or a new platform. It's about how you take the power of things that operate in space, things that operate in cyberspace, things that operate in air and terrestrially and subsurface to create effects in the battle space. So how do you leverage the power of all those data streams and fit them together in new ways? He said. Byron Callan, an analyst with Capital Alpha Partners, called the nature of the U.S. program the most fascinating question. What does this thing even look like? Is it a manned-unmanned platform with stealth? Is it a larger mothership that can control all these unmanned systems? I just don't know. Clear money is being spent to push the effort forward. In the fiscal 2019 budget, the service requested $504 million for next-generation air dominance, its portfolio of future fighter technologies and weapons. The Air Force expects to ramp up funding to $1.4 billion in FY20, hitting a high in FY22 with a projected $3.1 billion in spending. Officials involved in the effort have described penetrating counter-air as a survivable aircraft that may have design elements similar to a bomber in order to give it a longer range. Parallel experimentation and prototyping efforts are seen as necessary to prove out breakthrough technologies in areas like propulsion or autonomy that could be ready by 2030.